Hi folks, I'm Mason with Colton RV. Today I'm going to show you around this 2017 Thor 4Winds 28Z. Let's get started. So if you look right down inside this compartment here, you'll actually see it's going to be a big propane tank on this. In order to open and close this propane tank, you're going to have a regular handle just like on a smaller propane system. All you're doing is twisting it open or twisting it closed, nice and easy. Nothing too difficult about it for you. As you come down a little bit further inside this compartment here, you'll see you have a nice little bit of storage inside there. Down this way, you're going to get some outside outlets here as well too, which is really nice in case you got to hook anything up out here. Down here a little bit further as well, you're going to get a nice storage compartment here as well too. Can fit any small odds and ends inside there. And as you get to the back, this is where you really get into a lot of storage for yourself. So if you actually lift this up, it's pretty cool. This is actually going to be a folding table, so you can take this out and actually use it. Not only that, you'll get the storage underneath it. As you come around, we have supplied you with a couple things here as well. We have a surge protector here. They're great to use. They actually help protect the electrical system that is going to be on this. As for using the surge protector, it's pretty easy. All you're going to do is take it out of the package here. And here's your electrical connections. Your power cord, which we have hooked up here. Matches up with the surge protector. Plug this in here. You have your surge protector on that's going to plug into your electrical outlet. We are going to have some gloves for you. You're going to have a toilet chemical. I'll show you how to use this when we get inside. You'll have your RV safe toilet paper. You got your electrical hookup here, so in case you go to a spot where you're going to be plugged into a regular house outlet, you'll plug your power cord in on this end, and this plugs into a regular house outlet for you. We have a 25-foot extension cord just in case your power is a little bit too far away. We got you covered with an extra 25 feet. You're going to have a 50-foot fresh water hose. So this is for getting the water into the camper for you, whether you're going to be hooked up to water or you have to fill the fresh water tank, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. You have a water pressure regulator. This is going to hook onto their campsite water or wherever you're putting it. It's just going to reduce the water pressure for you and help protect the water lines. So you'll hook this on and then you'll hook the hose to it. And then we also have a 20-foot sewer hose for you. So this is going to be how you get your waste out from your RV. We'll show you guys how to use this as well too. Inside here as well, we have an outdoor mat for you. This looks like it's going to be a chair for you as well. And then you're going to get some more storage underneath each side here. You'll get one here, and actually underneath the supplies there's another storage bin for you. So on this side of it, we've managed to make our way around a little bit. Right here is going to be where you're going to be filling up the gas on it. Just like a regular car for a gas tank, you put the nozzle in, fill her up. Right down here, this is going to be your power cord. All stores right inside here for you. As you can see, just like I showed you earlier, simple power cord. Connects right in. Right here is going to be a little coaxial hookup. This is in case you decide that you are at a campground and they offer cable. You can hook the cable into this and then you can watch cable television on the inside. Nice little convenient feature for you. Right here you're going to have your refrigerator exhaust. There's nothing you have to worry about with this. Worst case scenario, if for some reason the fridge did stop working, you can actually open this up. It's always handy to use a key. And on the inside of it, the plug for your fridge is right here. So if your fridge decides that it wants to stop working, just come in here, check, and make sure that the power cord's plugged into it. Other than that, there's nothing else you have to worry about inside here. Right down here, It says hot 4 times. That means it does get hot when it's running. I can guarantee you're not going to use it. It's your furnace exhaust. I know it's about 85 degrees out here today, so I don't think you'd want to run your furnace. As you come down a little bit further, you are going to have an exterior shower on this. The exterior shower is nice in case you have any dirt on your boots or on your shoes. You have a hot and a cold option inside here. Works just like a shower. Put it on hot or cold, spray your feet off. Works great. Right here is going to be your hot water tank exhaust. There's nothing you're really going to have to worry about on this. We have a nice little cover over top of this to make sure no bugs get inside it. With the same thing with your refrigerator exhaust here, there's nice little screens inside these. Down below here is going to be access to draining out your toilet and draining out your showers and sinks. We'll go over this a little bit more in depth. Up here you get a nice little storage cabinet. Right here you're going to have your outside regenerator on this as well too. These cabinets are much easier to get to when the slide room is in. Chances are you probably won't have to mess with them too much, but if you do, it's easier to put the slide room in to get to them. As far as your generator goes on this, it is going to be relatively quiet. The generator itself, there's nothing, like I said, you really have to worry about inside here. If by some chance you do have to get inside here because it's not providing power, there is going to be a little breaker switch down here that you can flick to make sure it's sending power to it. Other than that, there's nothing really you have to care about in here. So now I'm going to go over your water system for you. There's going to be a couple of things you do have to take precautions with, which is what I explained a little earlier with a water pressure regulator. So if you are going to be hooked up to a direct water system, you do want to hook this on to the water setup. It's pretty easy. It just threads on kind of the same way you thread on a garden hose to a faucet outside your house. You do have 2 options for water inside your RV. You're going to have this spot here where you're going to just kind of stick the hose in and let the water tank fill up. Easiest way to tell when your water tank is full on this is water splashes out and you get wet. Let you know that it's full. On a hot day like this, it'll probably feel pretty good. Your other option you have with this is the one labeled city water connection. Your city water connection is actually hooked up to all of your faucets for you. You'll take your hose and you're going to connect it onto your water system setup like we have out here in our campground. The other end of it, you're going to thread onto here again, just like a water system on your house. You hook up your garden hose to it, this threads on. It's going to push water through the lines for you, so you don't have to turn on a water pump, which I'll show you when we get on the inside. So just to clarify for you, this is going to be to fill your fresh water tank in case you're out dry camping. This hookup here is going to be in case you are going to have a direct water source that you can hook directly into your camper. So underneath here is going to be where your black and your gray tank are located. Your black tank is going to be anything that goes down your toilet. Your gray tank is anything that goes down your showers and your sinks. You do have to drain these out before they fill up. In order to do so, you have these 2 levers here. These levers are what are called gate valves. They hold everything back before it comes out. You do have 2 black tank valves. You're going to have one here, and you'll have one on the opposite side, which we will show you as well too. And then this is your gray tank handle. It's pretty easy to tell them apart. One handle's black, one handle's gray. In order to drain these out, you have a sewer hose here. On the sewer hose, there's going to be L-shaped brackets. This sewer hose is going to get connected onto this. It has little nubs on the end of it here. You line this up with the nubs and you twist and lock it on. Once this end is locked on, you're going to have an L-shaped clear plastic piece here. This is going to go into a hole in the ground called your dump station. Once this is in the ground and this other end is hooked onto this, you are going to pull your black tank handles up first. Like I said, you have one here and you'll have one on the other side. That's going to drain out all of your sewage. Once that's done, you'll be able to tell because, again, clear plastic elbow, you'll see what comes out of it. Once that is done, you can pull your gray tank handle. You always want to do that in that order because your gray tank handle is dirty, soapy water that's gone down your showers and your sinks, and it helps rinse everything out of the hose for you. So again, just to go over it for you guys, you're going to hook the sewer hose onto here. You're going to put the clear elbow in the ground. You're going to pull your black tank handles first and drain out the sewage. You'll pull your gray tank handle once that's done, and it's going to drain everything out. It's dirty, soapy water and rinses everything out for you. One other benefit that you will get with this is if you're going to be at a campground where you're permanently hooked up to sewage, you can hook your sewer hose on like I showed you before, put it in the hole in the ground, and then you can leave those tank handles open. That just makes sure it drains everything out for you. Now we've made it around back to the camping side of your RV. On the inside here, there are going to be a couple switches as you head in. One of the main ones that's going to be here, it says awning in and out. Right now we do have it out, so if I press up on it, you'll notice that it's going to start to roll itself back in. Once you get to your campground, you're going to hit out, and it'll start to bring the awning out for you as well. On your awning, you'll have this bottom arm here. It's actually labeled. It does say pull down to adjust on it. What that means is if you're out camping and the sun's coming in at a steep angle, or if it's out raining and you want the water to run off one side, you can actually grab this arm towards the center of it and pull down on it. By doing so, the awning pitches down to either side. Just make sure when you bring the awning back in, you grab the same spot you pulled down on it and make the arm nice and straight. So the first switch that we did talk about was your awning in and out switch, which is going to be the center switch here. You'll have two switches on either side of it. This one is going to be the step light switch. So by turning this on, you'll notice it kicks on a little light down here for the step. It's mostly for coming in at night. Lights up the step, lets you see where you're walking. The other switch here says battery disconnect switch. That is going to be the main switch in order to get your 12 volt power in here. It has two options on it, use and store. The use option means when you come in and you click it into use, your lights may come on inside here. You may hear noises like it sounds like a vibration. That would be your water pump kicking on. You do need that switch in use in order to make sure that your slide room can run out, your awning can go out, and you'll have lights inside here. When you're done camping, you can click it down to where it says store. That's going to shut the batteries off, and it helps maintain the life on them. As far as that switch goes, if you do click it down into store and you notice that the lights are still on inside here and there's going to be your microwave or something else is still on, chances are you are still plugged in outside. You'll just have to go outside and unplug it. In order to make sure your batteries stay charged, you'll do want to make sure that it's plugged in and it's in the use option, and that's going to provide your 12 volt power inside here. So now that we're inside the RV as well, you're going to have this main control panel here. For the main control panel, that's got a nice couple features on it. You're going to have small little buttons here. Below these buttons they say LPG, which is going to be your propane. You'll have one that says BAT for your battery, fresh water, black water, and gray water tanks. The point of these buttons is when you poke them, you'll notice some lights come up. That lets you know how full your tanks are. So when you press the one that says LPG, right now your propane is 2/3 of the way full. Your battery is full. Your freshwater tank is full. And the black and the gray tanks are both completely empty. As you start to use the black and the gray tanks, you can come by here and poke these buttons to tell you how full they're getting, and that'll give you an indication of when to drain them. As well as your freshwater button here as well. You can press that to make sure that your fresh water tank on this has water inside it and you're able to do things inside here like take a shower and wash your hands. The next switch here says start and stop. That's actually how you're going to turn on your generator. In order to turn on your generator, you're going to hold down on the stop button. While you're holding down on it, you may notice a light kick on and some numbers pop on. Once that happens, your generator is now primed. From there, you're going to hold up on the start button. Your generator is now kicked on. You're now going to be able to use, after a couple seconds, once the power goes through everything, you'll be able to use your air conditioner, your microwave, if you're not going to be plugged in. This is going to be your main source of power if you're not plugged in at a campground. Your next couple switches that you do have down here, you'll notice have some labels on them as well too. These two are going to be your water heater or what is called your hot water tank. In order to use that, you do have two options on this. Your first option says LP gas, which when you kick that on by flicking this up, that allows your hot water tank to run off of propane. You're usually going to want to do that if you want to take a shower. It's going to take about an hour or so in order to get a full fresh hot water tank for you. Your next switch here says 110 volt. That's a cool feature that some RVs don't have. With this one, that means you can have your hot water tank heat up off of electricity if you're going to be plugged in or running your generator. Your next switch here says water pump. The water pump, if you're going to be filling up your fresh water tank, is going to be how you pull your water from your fresh water tank to your faucets, your shower, and your toilet. In order to do so, just flick the switch on. You'll hear a vibration, which is the pump pressurizing. Once it's done pressurizing, you will hear it kick off. Your next two switches here, you don't have to worry about. Those are what are called tank heaters. Those are mostly for if you're going to be outside camping in the winter. Your last switch here is going to be for your slide room that you'll have. That slide room is going to have an extend and retract. In order to put the slide room out, you are going to want to make sure that the parking brake is engaged and you do have 12 volt power. So now we're going to put the slide room out. In order to do so, you're going to press up and hold on the switch that says slide extend. While the slide room's going out, you'll notice it makes a high-pitched winding noise. That winding noise is normal to hear. Once the slide room is all the way out, you'll hear the same noise. Down below the rest of this panel here for you is going to be the main controls for the heating and cooling system inside here. In order to turn on your air conditioner, you're going to have some switch down here that says system. You're going to click it all the way over to cool, and you'll set your temperature down, and you'll have a fan high and low setting on this for you. Other than that, it's pretty simple. I don't think you're going to have your heat on. If you did want to turn your furnace on, you can click this all the way over to heat and take the temperature setting and flick it all the way over, kind of like a residential style house thermostat. So now we're actually back here in the bedroom. As far as the bedroom goes, you are going to have a nice comfortable bed, and you'll get storage across the top and on the sides here, along with some drawers. On this wall here, you are going to have your TV. So the TV is going to run off of your main power source, which would either be your generator or being plugged into your electrical outlet outside. Down below here, you are going to have your radio. Your radio runs off of 12 volt power. It's going to do an AM FM option on it. It'll have Bluetooth, so you can pair your phone to it and listen to music that way as well. And you have these buttons here that say A and B. That's actually a pretty cool feature. You have inside and outside speakers. Your inside speakers are going to be powered off of A. Your outside speakers are going to be powered off of B. So once you turn the music on inside here, you can have both speakers on so you can listen to music inside and outside, or you can listen to it just inside or just outside, wherever you'd like to have it. And the last switch down here is just the main ceiling light switch for you. Down below here, this brown box at the end of the bed is going to be what are called your fuses and breakers. This is the first place you're going to go to troubleshoot any electrical issues you may have. When you pop it open, you'll notice there's a bunch of breakers in here. It's just like a household breaker box. If they're popped, pop them back over to on, and you should be all fine. On the right side of everything, you are going to have little 15 amp fuses. Those do have sometimes an indication light next to them to let you know what is popped, but chances are you're not going to have to worry about those as well. The electrical systems inside these are quite safe, and they're pretty easy to use and understand. So once you get your RV to your campground, in order to use the TV and in order to draw power in, you are going to want to run the auto scan feature on it, just like you would in a house when you get new cable. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to want to load up the menu option on this. The menu button is going to be right down here, right by the arrows. You'll load it up and you'll click over to where it says channel. Once you get over to that, you're going to click down and it says auto scan. You'll click OK and then start the scan. This does have a regular over-the-air TV antenna on it. You are going to pick up some channels. By running the auto scan feature, it just makes sure that you pick up the most channels in an area that you're going to be at. So if you are going to be at a campground that does have cable and you do want to run the cable option on this, you are going to do the same thing. You're going to go into menu, click all the way over to where it says channel. You're going to switch from air to cable and then run the auto scan feature on it instead. By doing so, it's just going to make sure it picks up the right channels and uses all the correct information to make sure you get the best TV you can. So next we have here is going to be the bathroom. There are a couple things inside here, oddly enough, that you will have to learn how to do. Inside the bathroom here, the couple things you'll have to learn is one's going to be the shower curtain. You do want to hold it and make sure you hold on to it when you hook it up to the other side here. It is on a spring, so if you do happen to slip and let go of it, you'll notice it'll go shooting back. As far as a shower inside here, it works just like a residential shower. You have your hot and your cold, and it'll allow you to set it to where your preferences are and take a shower. Same thing with the sink. You have a hot and a cold. For the toilet, you are going to have to use a toilet chemical for it. The toilet chemical, like I showed you outside, is going to be that blue bottle. You are going to pour a little bit into the toilet, and on the right side of it here, there is a little foot pedal. So when I push down on it, you'll see water comes out of it. Once you put the chemical in, just run the water a little bit. Make sure there's a nice watery base in the bottom of the black tank, and that'll make sure everything digests correctly. In order to use the toilet, you go to the bathroom, you press down on the pedal lightly, it adds some water into the toilet for you. Once it's all the way full, just press down it all the way and it'll dump it down into the black tank for you. Up on the ceiling inside here, you'll notice you have an exhaust fan as well too. These just hand crank open. You do want to make sure they are all closed when you travel. If they are open when you travel, chances are they won't be there when you get to the campground. On the ceiling inside here, you are going to have the little switch. The little switch turns on the exhaust fan for you. It's great for when you're... So the next thing we're going to go over is going to be a refrigerator. It's actually really easy to use. It can run off of two options, propane or electric. In order to do so, you'll put this switch on auto. Auto means if it's plugged in, it's running on electric, and if you're not plugged in and your propane's open, it's going to run on propane. You do have a switch on the side here to change the temperature on it, either 1 all the way up to 5. Leave it on 5. On hot days, it is hard to cool down a little bit, but leaving it on 5 will make sure that it gets the optimum temperature for you. But you do get a nice size freezer inside here. You can actually see it's been running. We have a little bit of frost inside there. And then you do have a nice size refrigerator as well too. So next up is going to be your kitchen here for you. As far as up top here, it's just going to be like a regular microwave that you'll have in your house. Next here, you're going to have a light and exhaust fan for if you do plan on cooking on the cooktop. Next up is going to be your stovetop and your oven. In order to use it, it's actually pretty easy. Just like a grill that has a sparker on it, you kind of have to do the same thing with your stovetop. You'll put this on light, and you'll spark it. Pretty easy, and then you'll just adjust the temperature. As for your oven, you do have to light a pilot on it if you do plan on using it. In order to do so, you'll turn this knob over to pilot. You're going to open this up, and back underneath here you'll see your pilot. All you're going to do is push and hold on this and light your pilot with a lighter. Once it's lit, you can then set your temperature. Next up, you are going to have your sink. Again, it's pretty easy to use. If you're not going to be hooked up to water and you have your fresh water tank full, you'll just come back over to the panel here and click on your water pump. From there, you'll have hot or cold water. On this side here for you, this is going to be the same exact TV that you have back in the bedroom. As far as running it on cable or running it off of antenna, you are going to use the same options you did on the rear TV. Right here, you are going to have your dinette. This does go down into a bed as well if you did need to, or if you want to leave it as it is, you'll end up getting a nice comfortable spot. You can sit here, eat breakfast, lunch, whatever you need. There is also seat belts built into this for you as well too, in case you have any kids coming with you. In order to put this down into a bed, it's actually really easy. There's a little handle underneath the table right here. You'll shift over and you'll push the table down. You'll just move the cushions out of the way and it's going to rest on this ledge. And then your back two cushions here will come over and cover up the top of it. On this side of it here, this couch is also going to turn into a bed as well. It's actually pretty easy to do. All you're going to do is lift up on the bottom of it. You get a little storage under it as well as seat belts. And it sits flush. If you do have somebody that is a little bit taller coming with you, you can remove this and it makes it a little bit longer so somebody's feet can hang off it as well too. Up top here above the cabin as well, you are going to have another bunk. It does come with a ladder here. Ladder's pretty easy. It's got little hooks on it, hangs right in the edge of it here, so whoever needs to get up there can. The cool thing on this as well is on this side of it here, you do have some storage as well too. So if you wanted to do pillows or bed sheets or a blanket, you can put that in there as well. One of the last parts of this as well for you guys, this is going to be your TV antenna. It's pretty easy to use. A lot of the old school ones you had to crank up and down. Not this one. There's just a button on the side of it and you can rotate it. By doing so, it's kind of like adjusting the rabbit ears on the old TVs, and you're just optimizing the signal it's going to pick up. And the last part of this is really going to be the front end of it. It's going to be similar to your typical Ford chassis. You're going to have your air conditioning controls, hot or cold. You'll have your fan settings on it as well. And then you'll have your light options here as well, and a dimming switch for the dash as well. One last thing that you'll see on the dash here is going to be these options of USB charger and HDMI. USB charger is obviously going to be in order to keep your phone charged. The HDMI option on here is going to be, they do make cables that go from HDMI to a hookup on a cell phone. Because this doesn't have built-in GPS on it, you can do an HDMI screen sharing option, which would allow you to plug in your phone and then pull up the GPS on your phone onto the display here. If you do have that option, all you're going to do is hook in your HDMI here, connect it to your phone, and click dual mirror, which will pop up down here. It says no signal now because we don't have anything hooked up, but if you did have that option, you'd be able to display your phone screen on the radio. And that was it for the orientation. Enjoy your trip and go Bills.